Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are looking at a piece of hardware that sits right on that messy fault line between a home stereo and a full professional rig.
That's a fun one. We've got the tech sheets and the specs for the Kramer 907XL.
The stereo power amplifier and mixer.
Yeah, that's the key part. It's this compact black box, It weighs less than a pound, and it's trying to solve a very specific problem.
Which is how you get your consumer audio gear to play nice with the professional stuff.
Exactly, without needing a whole rack of equipment to do it.
So that's our mission today. Let's unpack how this thing works, because that mixer part is really the secret sauce, isn't it?
It absolutely is. I mean, usually a power amp is just signal in, louder signal out.
Right, a dumb box.
Yeah. But this one accepts two different kinds of inputs at the same time. You've got input 1, which is a balanced stereo signal on a terminal block.
Okay, so that's your pro audio feed, the time you'd use for long cable runs to cancel out noise and interference.
Precisely. But then right next to it, you've got input 2.
Standard RCA connectors.
The red and white ones everyone knows. For your laptop, your phone, whatever, your unbalanced consumer-level gear.
And the magic is you're not just switching between them.
No, you're mixing them. You can have both live at once.
So a professional mic and, say, a presentation from a laptop could be blended together.
Exactly. You get individual volume knobs for each one on the front, plus a master mute. It's a surprising amount of control for a box this size.
But all that control is useless if the amplification is weak. Let's talk about the power.
Okay, so the spec sheet says it pushes 40 watts per channel into an 8-ohm load.
Which, for a boardroom or a small venue, is plenty.
It's solid. But I saw you notice that other number in the data sheet. The music power.
Yeah, it mentioned peaks of 150 watts. What is that about?
That's all about headroom. Audio isn't a flat, constant tone. It has spikes,
A drum hit or an explosion in a movie.
Exactly. So think of it like this. The amp cruises along at 40 watts, but it has that reserve power to hit 150 for a split second to handle those peaks without distorting.
And it does all this while being a Class D amplifier, which I assume is why the unit is so small and light.
It's the only way. Older amps, like Class AB, were incredibly inefficient. They basically just bled power as heat.
Needing huge, heavy metal heat sinks.
Right, Class D is different. It works by switching the power on and off thousands of times a second. It's incredibly efficient.
So it runs cool.
Very cool. And since you're not wasting all that energy as heat, you don't need the big, heavy chassis. You get a clean 36 dB of gain, wide bandwidth, and it barely gets warm.
That cool operation leads to what you call the Tetris factor, right?
Yeah, the documentation calls it compact multi-tools, but I like my name better. For system integrators, this is a huge deal.
Because you can rack mount them.
And you can get 4 of them, side by side, into a single 1U rack space with an adapter.
4? That's incredibly dense. You could power 4 separate audio zones from one tiny slot in a server rack.
And it all runs off a simple 24-volt DC supply. It just fits into places a traditional amp never could.
So to wrap this up, for around $360, you get a device that mixes pro and consumer audio, puts out 40 watts of clean power with huge peaks, and you can stack them 4 wide.
It really is the perfect example of that modern, set-and-forget, high-efficiency gear. It's just so versatile.
It definitely punches above its weight. It does leave me with a final thought, though.
Oh.
As these Class D amps get smaller and more powerful, like this 907XL, are we reaching a point where the line between pro gear and consumer gear just disappears completely, at least based on size?
That is the big question, isn't it? When the pro-level gear can fit in your pocket, the game starts to change.
Something to think about. Thanks for listening to this deep dive, and we'll catch you on the next one.